they're here. Hand show adaptive fog lights for the Model 3 and Model Y. So we're going to do an unboxing and then look at the fog lights a little bit closer, do a full install. I'll show the Model 3, the Model Y. There are some differences there. And then I'll show some more video of how these actually look and act in real life. Yeah, because I don't have a Model Y, the Model Y install is, all right, I ripped it off, okay? I ripped off some of the install video from Hand Show. So overall, the Model Y install is going to be easier, but at the same time, it depends how you do it. Watch the install, you'll see it's not that bad, and I think totally worth it. And guess what? 30% off, Easter sale, Hand Show, using discount code TeslaMark. Try it out, works just about everywhere. All right, let's see what we got in the box. Ooh, okay. All right, instructions, which you don't need because you got me. Ooh, look at this. Install gloves, little grippies. Nice. Couple wiring harnesses here. Okay, we'll figure all this out during the install. Let's peel back a little bit here. Look at that. Ooh. These feel like real good quality. They feel OEM, really. They're heavy duty. Nice and clear, very clean, no flaws. All right, looking good, looking good. Oh man, yeah. These are looking sharp, super clear. I cannot wait to get these on the car. Let's go. Unfortunately, on the Model 3, you really do have to remove your wheel and tire, but at the same time, doing that makes everything way easier to be able to access fog light through the fender well here. So, you know what, spend a little more time on here, but then you're going to save some effort when trying to run all the connections and pull the fog light out and put the new one in. So, you know, trade-off. On the Model Y, however, you can just turn the wheels all the way in and do pretty much the same procedure. Again, because there's going to be enough space in here with the wheel turned all the way in to be able to access this just by kind of pulling this away. I also have some wheel spacers on here, so it would make it even more difficult. But anyway, let's get the car up, let's get the wheel and tire off. Alright, so I'm going to take a number of these clips out. Let's see how few I can take off with and still be able to access the fog light. I think you can do this with just a screwdriver. Take these out. Not that bad. I might use one of these tools also. We can see the fog light is right here, okay? So this is not bad. All right, let's get a little bit closer here. All right, up here, we've got a T25. These are all T25s. Torx bit up here, and there is another one here, and then another one right here. So let me take those off, and let me unplug it here. And I think we're going to have to undo this one here. But let me see. Let me unplug it. Let me undo these and see what we got. Okay. Try out some extensions here. All right. A little more difficult to get. This guy here looks way easier. Okay. If you're not that familiar with these tools, this has like a wobbly end on it, and it comes in handy in some of these cases where if you're trying to do like a straight shot, you run into issues, but able to get a little wobbly bend in there, it can kind of save you. Anyway, it worked there. Okay, now, all right, see those tabs right there in the center? Got to lift those up in order to get the fog light out. And then we've got another one back there. All right, so let me try to get that one first and push that side of it out, and then I'll get the other two. Use this guy. I'm pushing on the front of the fog light here a little bit too. Gonna give a little push on the front of this. Alright, this one's really annoying me. I'm not sure exactly how to pull that out of there. I can't see it very well, so I'm just gonna cut this. I can re-zip tie it. Once I see what it looks like, I can probably do it better on the other one. Okay. So what was difficult on my car anyway were these tabs here were, you know, they're designed to go underneath here and lock on, but it's difficult to pry them both up at the same time. You almost have to pry all of them up. You can pry these two up and kind of move it out a little bit, and then you got to get these two to get the rest of it in there, and mine was kind of stuck even though I had them pried up, so I had to kind of jar it loose a little bit. Otherwise it's not that bad, and from what I've seen on other videos, I'm not sure that all of the models have these tabs in there, because I've seen where they take the screws out and just kind of push it and the whole thing comes out. So I don't know. This I'll probably just re-zip tie this on and tie this one also back on. So, all right, and this comes right off. You just push these two in, and we'll put this on the new fog light. So this one here, these just needed to be squeezed. I couldn't really do it when I had it in there, but now that you've seen this, you can probably do this without cutting this zip tie thing here. So, let's get this back on here. The hand show install video really doesn't cover any of this part. They just kind of, you know, show them pulling the light out. Yeah, I really don't like when they do that. They're probably just trying to make it look like a super easy install, and it's not that bad, but it's not like super simple either. Okay, so this is out. Let's get the new one in. Alright, so these are the tabs that I was talking about that are a little bit of a pain, so we just got to make sure that everything's lined up and we can fit them in. I put these screws back in. Start with the easy one. Let's take a look at this connector here. This is going to go to the side camera repeater. We'll get to that. And you can tell it's got this long run. And then this is going to go to the headlight, and it isn't too hard to figure out because this is the only connector that's going to work for the headlight. And then this is going to plug in right here into the new fog light. Okay, not too hard. And then this goes unused. Take this guy down so it doesn't rattle around. Can't plug this one in here. And now we got to run this to the repeater camera, which in this car, it's a little bit of a pain. As far as I can tell, we don't have much of a choice. With the Model Y, you can actually reach from above and get into the repeater camera from the front. This car, there's no way. I mean, you could take this little panel off here and all you have access to is here. There's not enough room here. So we got to take off most of this fender well. You got to pull all the fender clips off and get that down. So let's do that now and tap in over there. All right, here we are. So obviously this wire's got to run up here, and then we tap into here. Okay, that plugs there. Okay, looking good. It's in this area here. It's a little bit of a weird spot, but if I can get my hand, I can't really get my hand in there and show you at the same time. So I'm going to unplug that by squeezing a little tab at the top and pulling it out and showing you what the deal is. Give a little press down on this and I was able to pull it out. I actually had to kind of do a, use this to pry it out a little bit, push that tab down and pry it out because, yeah, that's not in the easiest spot to get to, but luckily to plug everything back in, it's going to be real simple. So to get to the headlight, I'm just basically going to kind of look up there. See that opening, the stop sign? That's close enough to where the headlight is. So I'm just going to run this connector up there. I might have to put some kind of a line or wire, come down from the other way, fish it through and pull it back that way. Really not that big of a deal. You'll figure it out. Alright, so we've got this pass-through connector here. I'm going to plug the one end into the headlight over there and then plug the other end into here. Alright.
So you don't actually physically have to remove all the panels. You just have to first pull this out, and this come off fairly easy. So it pops open just like that. Alright, you might have some clips left behind, so you just have to pull that back and put it on this plastic trim. And no clips are left behind so far. And then the top piece here, you just bend it down a little bit and it will come right off. Same thing with the other side. So that came right off. So now the front side, there's a little opening. Just like that. And then once you have unbolted, just pull it out just like this, angle the lights towards the front of the bumper. And again, it fits through the Model Y with no issue. Barely fits, but it fits. Alright, so now getting the new HANSSHOW Foglight in, same direction. So just put it in with the cover still on so you protect it from scratching. Alright, so leave this cover on, take it off after you have it come through here, and then it will be safe. Alright, went through just fine. And then just wiggle it in from the top. There's a lever that attaches there. And next, you do have to remove this front tray though. So to remove this is very easy. You just need a 10mm wrench. But before you remove any 10mm, go ahead and pry this open. So you want to start from the top and then work your way around. And it comes right off. Right, we'll place this on the ground here. And to remove this tray, there's two 10mm in the front here and two underneath the carpet, and then just a clip here that you pull next to the windshield washer fluid. And just toss everything in the front. So underneath the carpet you got two 10mm. Pull those up. Right. And that is it. So toss this in the front, but before you lift, make sure you remove this trim here. Take this out, unplug this. And then now you can lift this up. So once you got the tray removed, I just placed the tray over there. This last plug into the fender repeater camera. the signal light, and this will complete the installation. So if you have long enough hands, you actually can reach, in the Model Y that is, or you can pull down this trim and access it underneath. So I'm not gonna pull the trim down. I'm gonna do it through here. So all I do is reach all the way in, so installation is complete.
All right, I would highly suggest that you test this out before you put everything back together, you know, just in case. And as you can see, it's working. You can power your car on and off. Use the app here, power on and off, or, you know, whatever, have somebody in and out. And just double check, make sure you've got everything working right. And then obviously put all these clips back in, just reverse all the steps. Something to keep in mind with these clips. When you pull this top out, if you can see where these little tabs end up, is sometimes they get pushed too far up here and they're pulled out. So if you just kind of bring it down a little bit, just kind of calm down, you'll see that there's room for these tabs to go in more, and you can get them into, you know, get them into the holes a little bit better. Again, it's same thing with pulling them out. If you pull too far on this, you keep yanking on this, it widens this out and it doesn't want to come out. So just keep that in mind. Little pro tip for you. So here's a little bit of video of me driving around in a neighborhood, and check it out. Put the turn signal on. Look at the amount of light that shines over on the left corner there. But yeah, massive amount of light. And then here in this next clip, I turned the headlights off. So now look at just the fog light, just the light from the fog light. That is a massive amount. And you'll see when it turns off here how actually dark it is. Yeah, it's pretty dark out. So here, when you, obviously I was using the turn signals before. Here, when you turn left and right, you know, you get to past 18 degrees or so, the lights turn on and off. And you can see, it's just it's a massive amount of light. It's very noticeable. Okay, now, here on a highway, not the best footage, raining. Put your turn signal on and see how that left lane lights up. You see it when it turns off. And then I do it again on the right. Very noticeable. Again, not the best footage, rainy, windshield's a little wet. So I think you get the idea. These things really light the road up. Very noticeable. Very cool, very unique.